Thank you, Master of Ceremony, and thank you, the audience, for your time. I think for those that have been here since yesterday, all the technologies that have been talked about are talking about improving the efficiency in the agricultural value chain. And to repeat and talk about how the technology is transforming supply chain, it will be a bit of injustice because I'll be repeating myself. However, I'll just paint a summary picture around how the technology is transforming the supply chain, but critical is I'm going to talk also about the catalytic role of the government or the agencies of the government in the innovation value chain within the agri-tech sector, so that we can actually complete that chain from the research right to finding the technology onto the market. So you would see that with all the technologies, I think one of the biggest changes that have happened within the agricultural sector is the breakage of the barrier that most of the role players have been encountering. This barrier is actually access to information. With access to information, like the previous presenter has just shown, it empowers whoever is within the agricultural value chain to make decisions and do activities at the right time, right place, delivery at the right time, right place. And you'll see that in most cases, the issues around logistics have been of a major challenge amongst the farmers. So with the technology within the supply chain, farmers can have access to the market information, when is the product required, at what price, when is the transport coming, and it improves the transparency within the agricultural value chain. But what is critical also within that is there's an aspect of breaking of the silos, the traditional silos around the different scientific fields, the chemistry, biology, physics, engineering, and the access now to the indigenous knowledge from the indigenous citizens. And by this, I'm not only talking of the traditional knowledge holders, but even the farmers themselves who are doing who are in practice. They've got a lot of information, but taking that information from the farmers and interface it with the technological advancements has always been an issue because of the communication barrier between the so-called universities and research institutions and those that are in the practice. So that has also helped in bringing a lot of information and lots of phenomenal innovations to actually resolve some of these challenges that the role players have been encountering in the agricultural value chain. But one of the questions that we always ask is, you will find that there's a lot that is being done within the research field, lots that have been published, but how much of that do you find in the market? And what is the cost of innovation amongst the established companies? Is it their core business? And how risky is that? And are they prepared to take that risk? And also, how do we then create other new players within this sector? That brings me then to the topic around the catalytic role of the government and government agencies in the innovation value chain, so that the established companies can embrace more innovations, and we can also have new innovations that are coming that would solve the problems. I think you have heard presentations from CSIR, some hear presentations from ARC and other universities of what they are doing, but how much of that is translating from the lab to the market? So I'll just play a short video of the organization that I'm representing, and then I'll talk about the catalytic role.
To look at a challenge and see a solution requires a mind that can look at problems and see hope. A better way. A new approach. An idea, no matter how important, can't reach its full potential if left alone. That's why we provide those who look beyond problems with the help they need to turn their potential into action. to serve as a catalyst for knowledge interactions that transform emerging ideas into economic opportunities. That's why we guide today, so that you can build tomorrow. The Innovation Hub, a subsidiary of the Gauteng Growth and Development Agency. Find out more at theinnovationhub.com.
Okay, thank you. So, what is the government's role? The Innovation Hub is an agent of the Gauteng provincial government, which falls under the Department of Economic Development. But the role of the Innovation Hub is to enable the innovations, both within the established companies and also bringing up new companies, new innovative companies, and trying to establish new industries. So how do we add value to the existing organizations? Sometimes it is very costly to innovate, because sometimes you embark on a solution or on finding a solution and it may not come out the way it is. And how many companies are prepared to lose money through that process? Yet there is a need to actually accelerate the growth and also maximize on the profits. So what we do is we do technology scouting. We can go and look for technologies that address the pain points. So what we normally do is we go to the established companies, help them define their challenges, and we put those challenges on a platform, our open innovation platform, and it can be found on openix.theinnovationhub.com. And then we define that challenge, we post it, and then the solution providers, be they researchers or other smaller players, bring in their solutions. We sit with the companies, we evaluate the solutions, and then they select which solution they can take and implement within their organization. So that cuts the R&D, or research and development process, within those organizations. We also have what we call the solution providers platform, where researchers and other smaller companies will post their solutions. And then it's more like sort of an auction, where then you get companies can come and scout for those solutions and then implement that. And so we cut the process of adopting or looking for new innovations within the organizations. Then how do we also bring up some of these innovations or some of these inventions to market? We do that by doing what we call the business incubation. We focused on business incubation in three main sectors: the green economy. We are looking at water, wastewater, and the energy efficient technologies. That also addresses the agriculture side. We also look into the bioeconomy area, where we are looking at health and food security side, where we look at technologies that are addressing the challenges of adequacy and accessibility with regards to the food area. And we also look into the smart industries, where we are looking at technologies that are information and communication related technologies, or the advanced manufacturing technologies that address the challenges that we have within the agri sector. But what we normally find is we have highly qualified technical people, but they do not have an idea of how to take that product to market, or they don't have the entrepreneurial edge. So what we do from the Innovation Hub side, we provide the business incubation side to ensure that that product goes to market. And how we work with these technically savvy people sometimes is we partner with the different role players, be they within the government or in the private sector, to provide the mentorship, business development support. And we also work with the research organization like the CSIR. I saw the presentation where they were where there were companies like Pepisa, Vida Pharmaceutical, where they provide they fine-tune the technical aspect so that we can scale up that product to go on to the market. I'm not here to market specific companies that have gone through this process, but it is worth it to mention that we've got companies like Portia M Skin Solutions, companies like Kula, that is in the app, that has got an app that links the market to the producers, and it helps with the real-time delivery and tracking of the information. We've got companies like MCX that is looking at precision agriculture. So we've got a couple of companies that talk about this, and we also have, like, for example, the marble casing soil that has managed to replace the peat with waste, with the pulp and paper waste. We also have technologies that are coming up where we've got a company that has developed a hydrogel that has got 2,000-fold water retention capacity, such that you can plant your crop and it can go for a month or two without watering. So these are some of the technologies that we go and scout from the field and then bring up to the market. But as I indicated again, the issue of communication between the indigenous knowledge holders and those that are technically savvy is always a challenge. You would need to develop a specific art so that you'll be able to tap into what the practitioners in the field of agriculture are doing and how can it be translated to global standards and to the market. And we have developed programs where we interface the researchers and the indigenous knowledge holders so that they can talk, and then we can then add the scientific and the technological aspect to what they are doing to ensure that we have reached the market. And what is in it for the government agency? Because that's where the catalytic role is coming into play. We do not take equity in the companies that we support. What we normally do is it's more of a pay-forward program where we say, we incubate a company. Upon success, when that company is able to make profit, we request a 2 to 5% royalty on the profit of the company. That will be equivalent to the amount of support that company received during incubation, so that we maintain sort of a revolving fund that would support other upcoming companies. We do not lay claims to the intellectual property. We don't. Either if you develop that with the university or a research institution, you are guided by the Intellectual Property Management Act. All we do is we want to ensure that that product goes to market. When it goes to market, we start to make money, we increase the tax base, and we generate employment. That's how we work with the entrepreneurs. We run a couple of competitions to bring these together and then incubate the company. So that is part of the role of one of the government agencies, because previously, most of the government agencies have been either involved in the research and development phase, and then we hit the so-called value of death, nothing goes to market, or you get a government agency that is looking at growing the industry, but you are growing the industry and technology is not being able to cross that valley to be grown. So we are on that phase where we are now completing right from the fundamental research to the market. That's what we do as the Innovation Hub. That's the catalytic role that we play to ensure that some of the technologies that we have had that are playing a major role, that are revolutionizing the agri sector, can see the market of the day. Thank you.